from a Patriots perspective, I think the idea that they went up for two players. Bill Belichick had only traded up in the first round twice in the past 12 drafts with the Patriots back in 2002 and 2003. So to see him do it twice in 1 year, that was definitely something different.
When you looked at those defensive end, outside linebacker types that the Patriots value, this wasn't a deep draft, but that was a good position. And once those guys started to come off the board, you saw Copels, you saw Ingram, and then you saw Shea McClellan go. And I think Bill Belichick said, you know what? If anybody else is looking at defensive end, outside linebacker, we better jump up because we might lose our guy Chandler Jones. They made that move. And then I think he just said, you know what? The hell with it. Let's go get the other guy while we're at it, because if Donta Hightower is still on the board, we want to help our front seven make that move, and we can get it done.
So it really wasn't a surprise to see them go after Chandler Jones. I'm intrigued to see how they're going to use him. I know Belichick talked about, whether dropping into coverage, whether he can rush the passer. I don't know if he's a fully formed guy yet, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make an impact on day one, but I think eventually, as a rookie, he will make an impact on this team.
I don't think he shot up the Patriots board, but I think in the media world you sort of see players come up at the end, and I think that's more just the idea that you don't have all the information that the teams do. But I think for the Patriots, this is a guy that was there from the start, and it starts with his physical measurables: 6'5", 266 pounds, 35.5-inch arms. Those are the type of measurables that the Patriots are going to like regardless of the production. So I think if you ask them, they were on him from the start. I think the media, we were maybe a little late to catch up to him.
I think more immediate returns you would probably get from Donta Hightower. The reason being, Chandler Jones hasn't had the production yet, and I do know the defensive end, outside linebacker spot is a little bit more difficult to learn in the pros and exactly what you're going to be asked to do. But Donta Hightower has played at a high level in the SEC for a national champion, and we'll get a recommendation from Nick Saban on how much football he knows already, and probably has learned some pro-style defense from him. So he might be able to translate a little quicker.
That's a great question. I think the jury is still out on what the Jets have been able to do. I'm really intrigued at the Dolphins and Tannehill. I think there's a connection there that I think could really prove beneficial down the road, because Tannehill obviously has connections from Texas A&M to Mike Sherman, and so that transition, I think, to the NFL will be a little bit easier. But I think right now, I think the Patriots have helped themselves tremendously on the defensive side of the ball after day one, but there's some really intriguing moves out there. I think really, for me, the most interesting one, I don't know how much they've jumped ahead, but the most interesting one really is the Dolphins.
I'll just start with the Dolphins, just because to me the biggest question for them is who's the quarterback, and I don't think they had the answer on the roster prior to this draft. Now, I don't know if Tannehill will be the answer for them, but you have to give it a shot. I mean, to me, if you're playing in a division with the Patriots, you cannot expect to win with Matt Moore as the quarterback. So I like the idea that they have some hope now, a quarterback to build around. We'll see if it's the right guy. The Bills, I think, have done a great job defensively this offseason in free agency, and I think Gilmore's a solid cornerback. Again, to get through the Patriots, you're going to probably be in your nickel defense for most of that game, so you need 3-4 cornerbacks, to get through a game. And the Jets, I think the pass rusher Copel's a little bit of a risky pick. I think if you're comparing the Patriots and the Jets, you have to feel pretty good if you're a Patriots fan.
Well, Quentin Copels, who the Jets took, is a guy who had a lot of questions about him in terms of effort in the ACC last year. One of the draft experts who I respect, Nolan Naraki, said that he led the ACC in loafs as a defensive end, outside linebacker. That's not what you want to lead the league in. Additionally, I like, to a degree, what Buffalo did. I think that they've made their defense better, and they went and got Stephen Gilmore, and their defense continues to improve. You look at what the Dolphins did with Tannehill, I think it's a huge reach, and sets them up for continued quarterbacking disappointment. So I think the Patriots win out, and then Buffalo, and then I would probably say the New York Jets, and then the Miami Dolphins.